Hello everyone, I'm Chester44, Ascendance Fly, and welcome to this Let's Play of Citizen Sleeper 2. Last episode, all of the issues going on Darkside have been taken care of. We are now on Darkside completely safe. Utsubo has been dealt with. Lane is allegedly gone. But we still have things to take care of. For starters, well, we have a safe house here I can work on clearing out a bit, so I shall. May as well. It'll take a couple cycles, but we have the time. Plus, using up a couple cycles is good. Find blocks of shimmer concealed behind a false wall. Utsubo is trading this on the open market. Lost some energy. Ooh. New location discovered? What? I don't see a new location. Why does it say new location discovered? There's no new location. Anyway, that handled. Let's go ahead, take a rest. Bliss is no longer with us because they're working on things. Okay. Well, we can go ahead and end this cycle. I guess Eugene is alright. Source some supplies if you can. Oh, that is a bad roll. Alright, well, we can finish this up. Go ahead and try shifting the boxes. That's a lot of lost energy. Holy crap. Almost. Lost more energy. Excellent. You watch as the last stack of crates is guided up and out of the cavernous Utsubo safe house. You doubt it will be long before this space is filled. Darkside will not tolerate a vacuum for long. This city takes every opportunity. Its inhabitants build in every crack and crevice. As Utsubo's spaces are cleared, they will be occupied. The gang's legacy will be buried under factories, kitchens, markets, and housing. But the people will remember the cold and desperate grip they once held on this place, even if the city does not. Come to gloat? The voice takes you by surprise, and you turn to see Orin floating in the shadows, arms folded. He drifts forward into the pool of yellow light. You overthrew a tyrant. You should be pleased with yourself. His tone is flat, and you are unsure how to read his statement. Wasn't just me. Many people did this. I suppose. But from what I heard, you burnt those pale eyes out of his skull. I imagine it was quite the sight. You don't recall the moment of Lane's death. In fact, the abstract nature of that moment, almost dreamlike, means you had almost forgotten. You tense a little as his scream comes back to you, a screech of white noise bathed in white light. Orin is still watching you. He almost would have respected you for actually doing it. If he could have respected a creature like you. What do you want? Just to satisfy my curiosity. I came here to clear out the old disease just like you. Utsubo had to go, and I came here to be part of that process. You can't burn everyone you don't like out of this place, I'm afraid. This is our home, whether you like it or not. I didn't like Lane. It's hard to imagine anyone did. He saw Darkside for the opportunity it was and woke Utsubo from its slumber. He turned a gang into an administration and a city into a machine. He was too erratic for my taste, perhaps, but he held this place, shaped it into something. I see that you have no intention of doing the same. So, what will happen now? You've created a space that must be filled. Will you take responsibility for that, at least? I'll let the people decide. Oh, will they? I can see that you don't know the first thing about Darkside and its people. The people decided on Utsubo. You changed that. Now you want them to pick something else? They're opportunists, all of them. They'll choose for their own benefit only. In the end, I should thank you. This city was done with Lane. And I will be honest enough to admit that you did what I didn't. But never forget that you were an outsider here. And Darkseid hates outsiders. Before you can respond, Orin kicks off and glides up towards the upper levels of the safe house, leaving you alone in the empty space. Though you do not put weight to his words, they still sting. Perhaps you think there is something to them. Who are you to decide the future of a city when your own future is falling apart each cycle? Is your decline a spiral that can trap others in its wake, or a necessary transition? The crisis before a new shape emerges. You hug your arms close to your side, suddenly cold in the stripped bare safe house, and ascend once more. Well, that's complete, so I guess I can unload one of these. There, one more upgrade. And I need to buy a meal. I have so much money, I can afford it without a problem. Okay, let's do one more rest here. And I think now we'll find out some things. Hey, Wolfen. I'm not a snot. What? Junie knocks gently on the frame of the berth's doorway. Sleeper? Can I show you something? There's an excitement in her eyes that makes it impossible to say no. Junie talks most of the way down into the HabPep facility, which is no short journey. She explains the scale of the data hidden within the station's mainframe, but also the issues with extracting it. When the HabPep was first expanded, when it became Darkseid after the collapse, no one gave much thought to preserving the existing network architecture. She guides you through the substructure, picking a route through the maze of shuttered passages. They parasited their tech directly into the existing system, so now, thousands of cycles later, the two networks are totally enmeshed, dependent on each other. Junie takes a series of sudden turns, and you realize this is a very familiar route to her now. Messing with the Solheim network means messing with the systems that keep the sitting going. She leads you down a long corridor, one you recognize as leading directly to the core. I hope you haven't been messing with it then. Sleeper. Who do you think I am? This meshing is not a good thing. It makes Darkseid brittle, fragile even. This place is on more of a knife's edge than anyone would believe. You look around. Certainly the underside you are now traveling through looks cycles away from collapse. But all the data we've been extracting, that I've been archiving, it could help us here. It could help us clean up the HabPep systems. And we could turn this place into an archive, so that others could come to learn more about the ruins Solheim left us. What is in all this data? Anything you can imagine. Everything from corporate message records to blueprints and maps. It's too much for me to process or understand, but thanks to our visit to the bunker, I have a plan, and something that will help me. You arrive at the doors to the mainframe and Junie suddenly stops. I spoke to Bliss. They told me... I'm sorry, Sleeper. I know you have a lot to deal with right now. It's a lot to process. If you ever want to talk... Junie hits a button and the doors hiss open. You both glide into the mainframe, its columns studded with the blinking lights of active traffic. I got the idea from you, actually. Well, from you and Overseer. Junie glides over to the mainframe. You look at the mainframe and you see now that it is surrounded by new terminals and wiring, some kind of external access network Junie has set up. I've had to beg, borrow, and steal to get this going, but now we have safe access into the network. It's low risk. She moves over to one of the terminals. It's not quite finished, though. You recall the last time you were here. Lane, Overseer, the spear of white light, and then nothing. You wonder where Overseer is now, if they are anywhere at all. You remember how it felt being dissolved into the network, the vertiginous possibility of life without a body. Something flickers through the lights, a shimmer of movement like a fish beneath water. Sleeper? Are you listening? I was saying I need more data to finish preparing. I know, we've already extracted so much, but there's often so little of it that's usable among the bit rot and corruption. Where from? Hellion Gate is the place to get data. Apart from here, it's the biggest pre-collapse facility in the belt, and its hostile conditions means a lot of it is untouched. If it's too much before you reboot, I get it. I just want to do something with everything we've managed to grab from the bunker and the Rex. We pulled it from the dark. Let's expose it to the light. Junie turns back to face you. Well, this is what I wanted to show you. It's very impressive. It will be when it's finished. Thank you. Junie turns back to the terminal, and before long she is fully engrossed. You'll imagine she barely even remembers you were here. You leave Junie to her preparations and start your ascent to the streets of Darkside, thoughts of Overseer flickering in the back of your mind. Sounds like something we can do. Let's see here. Junie needs one final batch of Solheim data to complete her work on the mainframe and lay the foundations for our archive. We need 6 Solheim data, we have 4. Honestly, I can very much spend just a brief time going to do that. It's a minor, but I can do that. It's not going to take much. So you know what? Screw it. We're going to do that. That actually should be so quick. Yeah, the Hellion Gate's right there. We'll buy more fuel, head to the Hellion Gate, grab the Solheim data we need. Let's go ahead and just do the scrap shift. We don't need the money, we have so much. Money really isn't a problem. But it doesn't hurt getting a little extra. I'm glad I decided to save this data. It's probably important these other things that I've saved as well, for all I know, but eh. Oh, and we have the money. Go ahead, fill up our fuel. Thank you. Now that that's done, this is going to be a very quick thing. Head to the Hellion Gate. You feel it the moment you wake. A flicker at the edge of your perception, a sensation beyond your body. A blinking, a tugging, and then numbness as something shuts off within you. The panic is instant, the feeling of something not being right within you spiking your fear. But no pain comes. You feel no further shifts, and as time stretches out, you settle again. You calm yourself. You know immediately that this is what Bliss was referring to. Your frame's decline, the one the reboot should reverse. You flex a little, feel your body, try to ground yourself in it. It will not collapse this cycle, but something has changed. This is how it will be until the reboot. You hope you have long enough to finish what you must. You begin the cycle slowly, holding the pieces of yourself together. You try not to let your thoughts wander to darker things and fix your eyes on the tasks ahead. The belt drifts past the window, following a flow of its own, expanding, collapsing, shifting in its own way. People say it is drifting away, getting further from Hellion's star, that one day it will drift out of the system altogether into interstellar space. You find a strange solace in that. Somehow, knowing that entropy is the way of the universe makes your own decline palatable, at least for a little longer. You have gained a permanent glitch. A permanent glitch is represented in red on your glitch clock and will not be expended when rolling a glitch dice. You now have a chance of rolling a glitch dice every cycle. This cannot be fixed. I guess we only have so long. No, we don't need supplies. We need data scraping. There it is. There's Solheim data. We got the Solheim data. I'll go ahead and get some extra, and then we'll fly back. We don't need to spend the third. Right, back to Darkside. There's the glitch die I can't do anything about. Alright, good news, I got you the data. Junie is thankful for the data. I have everything prepared, just give me a moment. You have been waiting for what feels like a long time. Junie insists you can't help, so you find yourself floating in the baking heat of the HabPep mainframe while she taps away at her terminal. As you do, you can't help but shake the feeling of a presence nearby, one that you are coming to understand as some remnant of Overseer. You don't know if Overseer was ever really a person, but now with their many selves combined and dispersed, your consciousness expanding to fill the vast space of the HabPep and its networks, they surely aren't even close to human anymore. You think of them as a ghost, but perhaps now they are better understood as something less mournful, as a system, a process, a thing becoming. The entire station is their body, can't help but wonder how that feels. And we are ready! Junie hits a key on her terminal with percussive force. It'll take a little while, but she'll be online in a few moments. She looks flushed with excitement. She? Weren't you listening last time? Junie squints at you. Don't tell me you drifted off. I was thinking about Overseer. Then you don't know. She suddenly looks concerned. A voice screeches out of the terminals. It descends in pitch from a squeal to speaking. Then, below the mainframe, a flickering projection appears, first as lines and then as solid light. Welcome, visitors. Warden flickers and warps. I am the Warden. Please provide... The image jerks and freezes, then blinks out. Warden? From the bunker? Shit! Junie taps at her terminal. Just need to reconfigure her for the HabPep environment. The Warden? Seriously? What? Junie doesn't look up from the terminal. I told you last time, we need a way to process and understand all this data. Warden is perfect. This better not blow up in our faces. It won't! Junie glances over her shoulder. I've taken precautions. She can't hurt us. The technician is right. Warden's clipped voice echoes through the cavernous mainframe bay. My protocol is operating under safe mode limitations. Safe mode? So does that mean every time we do a search with her, we end up doing it under safe search? Warden's blind eyes stare out over your head. Do not be concerned, Officer Dahl. Sorry, I'll fix that. Why the Warden? Archiving was her role in the bunker. She's ideally suited to this. And she understands Solheim networks better than we ever could. Come on, you have to admit this is pretty cool. You look at the statuesque figure of Warden, once at the heart of Solheim's intelligence-gathering operations across the belt. Could such a tool of corporate oversight ever be used for something good? Look, watch this. Warden, provide the last known location of every Solheim vessel above Ryger class in the Starward Belt. Immediately, technician. Warden draws a circle with a pointed finger and it expands, filling with bright specks. At first hundreds and then thousands. A constellation of sights. See? This is our future, built on the foundation of our past. These tools are ours now. You look at the arc of specks, the points of light describing the shape of a long-dead corporation's power. This is incredible. It is. People need to know what this city, this system is built on. Warden can do that. Expose that. It will be up to us to reshape the ruins into something new. I knew when I saw her that I couldn't leave her there alone in the dark. I've been in that dark pit, and I won't condemn another being to it. Junie looks at the placid Warden. Human or not, how we treat her is a test of our own values, of the world we project. Data is not a currency. It is not a commodity. It is the immaterial output of a system, a structure, a society. Junie meets her eye. This will be a place to uncover that system for ourselves. She looks around at the chaotic trailing wires and the floating terminals. Once I've cleared up a bit. You and Junie spend a little longer in the mainframe, sorting cables and offering Warden casual queries. Not all of them return useful information, and Junie begins listing out the changes she will need to make. After a while, you both find yourself tiring, heads aching with all the fresh information you have crammed into them. So you close up the core and ascend back through the layers of the facility to Darkseid's surface. As you do, you feel the history of each strata, the layers that make up this place and the belt beyond. Now, more than ever, it feels tangible to you, as if it contains not only the past, but the promise of the future as well. And that is complete. That didn't take long at all. Alright, well, what we have left is investigating the Hexport remains, revisiting Oliveira, which we can do, and then finishing the reboot. So that's 3 tasks. I can use up the rest of these, which I kind of need to do to get more money. Nice and easy. And we need to refill up on all our fuel. Used up some energy, but eh. And we need to refill on fuel. Cost basically everything we made that day, but it's no big deal. After this, I suppose... Oliveira is going to take 2 trips, so... Let's go over there. Let's stop at the Hollow first, and then we'll go to Oliveira. I'm not keen about what's happening with the dice. Oh well, I can at least do more of this. And some aligning of the arrays. Very nice. And we can go ahead and fill up on fuel. I could sell the processed scrap. It doesn't seem to have any other purpose, but I'm going to hold on to it just in case. And from here, we will go down to Oliveira. Stop! A shadowed figure meets you in the docking tunnel. No saboteurs allowed! Hey, kid. Seraphim glides forward and ruffles the figure's hair. Still playing sheriff? Nah, just bored. What are you two doing here? He glides alongside you and Seraphim as you drift through the tunnel. None of your business. No offense, kid, but you aren't actually the sheriff around here. You pass through the familiar doors and back to Oliveira, a surprisingly pleasant feeling. Oddly like coming home. You came! Cadence is there in the docking concourse waiting to greet you. I'm impressed. Seraphim's face immediately erupts into an uncontainable smile. Cadence. You two remember each other, right? Sleeper saved the colony? Cadence's deadpan answer seems intended to cover for Seraphim's awkwardness. Yeah, I remember them. The 4 of you descend down through the docking tower together and into Oliveira itself. The colony looks much the same as when you left, though you pick up from Cadence that changes are coming. Carmen's back with a vengeance since Darkside. He's all about expanding and improving the colony, which is why I asked you to come, Sarah. The nickname slips out, but both Cadence and Seraphim clock it and glance at you. Oh. As you reach the core of the colony, you see the increased activity. There are more colonists than you remember, and they move back and forth with purpose, carrying crates and tools that chatter less than usual. We need all the help we can get to sort the place out. Cadence notices you watching the stream of freight and people. Carmen wants to do some kind of event. An anniversary, I think. Honor the founders and all that. Gonna be a big party. Can't wait. So, Cadence looks between you and Seraphim. What do you think? Up for some colony-mandated manual labor? Seraphim gives you a sideways glance, observing your response carefully. How could you say no? Bliss has been in touch, Sleeper. Seraphim turns and looks over his shoulder as soon as you enter the cockpit. He is sitting in the pilot's seat, running diagnostics on the console. They say they are ready for the reboot. Did they say anything else? You know Bliss. They worry. How are you feeling? Strong? Yeah, that's what I like to hear. I know the reboot needs to happen. And I know the risks. I can see all that. But I also know what happened last time. And I don't want you to forget again. To lose all this. Everything we've done. That won't happen. Can you really say that, though? If you wake up without your memories again... I'm not trying to scare you. I just needed to say that if the reboot doesn't go how we want, I'll miss you. I'll miss all this. I will too. If you remember. Seraphim turns back to his pilot console. Whenever you are ready, we can go to Flicker Row. To Bliss. If you have things you want to wrap up first, I understand. I would too. Here. Seraphin tosses an object across the cockpit and you catch it out of the air. Take that with you when you go to Bliss. It's good luck. You open your hand and see a familiar metal disc. A coin, its engraving rubbed away to give more than vague shapes and signs. Tala gave it to me. Now it's yours. You can't run from this forever, alright? We've done enough running anyway. He turns back to the console and returns to the diagnostics. You leave the cockpit and run a hand along the ribbed metal wall of the passage outside. Is it really possible that you could forget all this? All these layers of memory? Of experience? Perhaps you can put it off a little longer. Take another tour around the belt, tie up loose ends. Perhaps you've had enough of that. Why try to escape the inevitable? You try to recall how it felt when you awoke after Lane interrupted the first reboot. Even that is fading into a hazy memory told by an unreliable narrator. Maybe this is just the next step then. One of thousands that put you here, and the first of the thousands more that will take you onward. You come out of your thoughts still unsure, still aware that the decision of when to take that step ultimately rests with you. A good luck charm to guide you through the reboot. Okay. Help the colony. Okay, so it's going to be a little bit of everything here. Olivera is a new colony and is still establishing itself. It needs all the help it can get to grow and thrive. So it's basically doing things on all of these, and whatever we do will provide help. It's going to be a lot of help, but I think we can afford to do this. I think the stack shift would be easiest because I get energy from it, don't I? Oh yeah. I get energy from this. This is the best way to do it. It's gonna take a lot of rolls, but... Okay, failures do lose energy, but I get it back from successes. So this is perfectly fine. I can spend a little time doing this. No problem. You guys scavenge fuel in the meantime. Still not a fan of the permanent, of that, but there's not much I can do. Yeah, just a couple cycles to complete this. If we're lucky, it might only be one more cycle. Alright, we've scavenged all the fuel we need to. So go ahead and take some odd jobs. Okay, let's go through this again. I mean, if I luck out and get a positive, that's... There we go! That does help out. This really is the best. I could succeed this cycle. If this is a positive, it'll be a success. Damn. Okay, one more cycle. You know what? I'm gonna do something. Feed the stray. The stray purrs and rubs against your side as she glides over to eat. Aww. Alright, source some supplies, one more cycle. And this will be the final success. Olivera's independence is growing thanks to the hard work of the colonists and you. The past cycles in Olivera have been busy enough to take your mind off most things. All the heavy lifting and manual work has been a welcome distraction from the looming specter of the second reboot, and the good mood of the others has been infectious. Seraphin has been almost annoyingly upbeat, his relationship with Cadence the worst kept secret in the colony. But working alongside them, it's hard to ignore their deep feelings for each other. Xander has been happy because he has something new to rib Cadence about, and Seraphin, with his self-conscious, serious manner, is an easy target for pranks and teasing. Xander also hasn't been able to stop talking about the party, which he already seems to have decided will be one of the highlights of his youth. But now, finally, the cycle of the party has arrived. The canteen is done up with hanging light strips, waving gently in the asteroid's microgravity. The strips themselves salvaged from the emergency lighting of wrecked starships. With the work stopped and all the colonists yet to arrive, you find the reboot filling your mind once again, growing like a shadow. Something on your mind there? The voice takes you by surprise. You turn to see a colonist you haven't met before, an older man in some sort of supportive chair, his hair shot through with gray and his face sallow. That's Sol. That definitely looks 100% like Sol. God damn it.
Didn't mean to startle you. My apologies.
His pale eyes scan you.
It just seemed like you might need some company.
There's a strange look in his eyes that you can't quite place. He is looking at you like you have met many times before, but you've never seen him before in your life.
Looks beautiful, doesn't it?
He gestures to the canteen with its hanging lights, his chair propelling him forward with little puffs of air.
The young people did such a good job. Warms my heart to see it like this. Never thought this rock could ever be a home.
He looks sideways at you. Have you lived here long?
Oh, since the beginning, before there was a here. Back when there was just a wreck and a rock.
This is the ship. This is his ship. It must have come over here and crashed into the rock.
But let's not chat about me. I want to know about you. What's eating you? The way you were staring at those light strips, it was like they were about to leap down and strangle you.
Time is passing too fast.
It'll do that to you, that's for sure. Just run away from you, out on some unknown vector. That's just a truth of the world, and so many other truths rest upon it. We have our time, some too much and some too little, but it's ours. In the end, it's all we have to our name.
The colonist squints at you.
Sorry, I'm not good with reassuring people. I just remembered that. But I do like chatting.
He looks back at the light strips.
Really lovely, isn't it? Just beautiful.
You look back at the light strips now as the hum of people arriving filters into the canteen. There is something in the air. Anticipation. The sense of a rare moment passing through. Something to hold on to and then let go. The light strips really are beautiful. When you turn back to the old colonist to agree with him, he is already gone. Hey, sleeper! Seraphin pushes through the now gathering crowd towards you. Got you a drink. He offers a pouch of some amber liquid. Hi. Cadence comes up alongside you and hugs you with one arm. I wondered where you were hiding. She smiles warmly at you with her infectious smile. You think about mentioning the old colonist to her, asking her about him, but Seraphin hushes the two of you. Carmen is about to start. You follow Seraphin's eyes to the front of the canteen, where above the heads of the now quite large crowd of colonists, Carmen floats, surveying the room. We meet this cycle, Carmen begins, his voice loud but clipped, formal in a way you hadn't heard before. To first remember those founders of this colony, those lost and still with us. I will never forget the distress call that brought me here to the wreck of the Pilgrim Seed. I will never forget the scenes that greeted me. And I know some of you were there too. A rumble of acknowledgement moves through the crowd. But I also know that many of you weren't. That many of you came here to take refuge from other troubles. And I would like you to be able to remember too. You glance at Cadence, her eyes fixed with incredible intensity on Carmen. They look wet in the glow of the light strips. There were thousands of refugees on the Pilgrim Seed, and too many, far too many were lost. Those from Ember's Step, Ember's Song, Ember's Hearth, those from the Three Sisters, from Erlin's Eye. Many are not here in Oliveira any longer, taking their own paths across the belt and beyond. But we acknowledge them all. Remember them all, lost and found, present and absent, because without them, there would be no colony here. Before the wreck, Oliveira was a handful of buried bays,
A scrapper hideout. A place for old and tired mercenaries like me to hide themselves from the universe and forget what they had done. But when the Pilgrim Seed was wrecked, it brought the universe back to Oliveira, and I could not hide any longer.
Carmen stares out across the crowd with a hard glare.
We built this canteen from the Pilgrim Seed. We built our homes, our farms, our refinery. We built our independence from their failed hope.
A rustle of discomfort goes through the crowd. Carmen pauses to let this settle.
We should not be ashamed or afraid of this. We will remember this gift. We will build on it. This cycle and every cycle after, we will thank them with our actions.
The crowd mutters agreement. Carmen takes a deep breath and straightens up. A weight seems lifted from him, the weight of testimony.
Now, here in this room with you, I will thank them with my laughter.
A cheer goes up.
I will thank them with my joy, with my celebration.
Another roar of approval.
We will all thank them as loudly and as chaotically as we can.
The room erupts into cheers and applause. Join in. You cheer and applaud too. You whoop, and Seraphine laughs nearby. Then you feel a pair of hands on your arm, Cadence pulling at you, grinning and crying. And you feel another hand on your other arm, Seraphine dragging you into the crowd. Suddenly you are in the thick of the crowd, so many bodies in one room, dancing and spinning and shouting. It is like nothing you have ever seen. You notice the rest of the crew in the melee, a flash of a familiar face here and there among the mass of colonists. You see Xander being thrown up in the air by a group of different kids of different ages, laughing madly as he bounces off the ceiling. And for the rest of this cycle, you think about nothing else but the joy of those around you, and the joy it instills in you. Oh? Huh. You wake up in your berth, the same light that always shines on the belt shining incessantly through the window. You are slow to rise, slow to begin this fresh cycle. At some point, Seraphine arrives back on the rig with no indication of whether he slept or not. You find him in the cockpit, leaning in the pilot's chair, looking out at the lights of Oliveira and smiling. Good party. Not sure I've seen anything like it. So how's Cadence? Seraphine gives you a look. She's great. She loved seeing you let it all go. I did too. Seraphine yawns and stretches. So, Oliveira's all fixed up, colonists are happy, blah blah blah. Where to now? Don't you want to stay? Here? Still a bit too much of a backwater for my tastes. Cadence understands, don't worry. Seraphine pauses a moment, something passing over him that makes him shiver. I heard from Tala. Wellspring is still in transition, but the Union Council is taking over. Kirk got what he wanted. The blockade will come down soon, but I'm not sure I'm ready to revisit that place yet. When I come back to Tala, I want to have something to show for myself, you know? I get it. Family. Maybe once the reboot is done, once the blockade is down, maybe we can visit them. We'll get there some cycle soon. You aren't sure if Seraphine is trying to convince you or himself. He stretches, shaking off his feelings. For now, though, the belt is ours to explore. Oliveira have filled our fuel tanks, so it really is up to you where we go. While you are deciding, I'm going to go dig up some breakfast. And he glides out of the cockpit. You take a moment to look out across the tiny lights of Oliveira, dwarfed by the crater and the wreck that sits at its far end. Not bad. Not bad at all, you think. And there we go. Well, I can go ahead and buy that one. So there we go. That's the rerolls dealt with. And I am going to end this episode here. We still have 2 things to do, and next episode, we're going to go investigate the Hexport remains. Till then, I am Chester44, I'll send you this fly. This has been a Let's Play of Citizen Sleeper 2, and I shall see you all next time.